Hello YouTube. Hello you riders. Season has started and we need to clean and parts of the bike that were stored during the winter, and one of the biggest one is to clean the seat. So as you can see, this one is from 2009 and it has quite a lot of not wear, but I mean, it's quite dirty actually. So first of all, we have to take it apart a little bit, take those things off so that it will be easy to clean, and those parts we can clean separately, and it's quite important that we clean as well under. So that's the first part. Take the seat apart. Number two, we will wash the seat. I don't go with spray or whatever. I think just to have a cloth which is a little bit soaked in water, but not too wet, because you have to think that you need to dry it out afterwards. There's few steps. There's actually 3 steps when you wash it. As you can see, I use hand soap. Why that? Because I use a hand soap because of the pH. The pH has to be neutral. You have to think it's shin, and shin is like skin, so it has to be treated like skin. Wash it good. I say not too much water. The point is not to soak it, and if it's here we are, to get well. Here we go. This one as well. We'll turn the seat. It's quite important as well to wash it under, for a few reasons. One of the reasons is to check that you didn't have any gravel or stone or wood that could damage the paint when you put it back. So it's always quite important to watch under the seat. Here we go. So we'll take about 5 minutes. We just let it dry a little bit. And actually the point is, if you now you see why it is important not to use too much water. And now I just dry it as max as I can. It's not a problem if you have a little bit of rest of soap, but you can see how dirty it was. See the difference between that part and that part. Quite amazing. And now you see again, you see that seat looks like it's quite out of soap. If I wash it with clean water, it's always a little bit of soap that stays on the seat. That's why it's quite important to use something which has a neutral pH, which is neutral. Neutral pH is about 4.5 to 4.9. It has to be a little bit acidic, but not too much. If it's too much acid, then you burn holes in your seat or you damage the skin. And I will dry it. As well, as you see, I'm not using any brush or anything that could damage the skin. The leather, I'm using paper. Down there is already you can see those one as well, they need to be treated afterwards. I will show you how as well. The problem is that they are metal and they might not have been in contact with water, but you always have a little bit of water residue. Now it's okay. Okay, we'll let it dry a few minutes and we'll come back afterwards. Stage 2. No, 10 minutes have passed. A little bit wet here. Just have to take that. Forgot that part here. So now we'll use something that I usually like to use, a balsam. A balsam is a blend between oil and wax. That's what a balsam is. What is funny is that it will soak in as well. The point is not to put too much, but just enough so that the seat feels smooth again. And when it was in store dry whole winter, you need to pass. Think of your own skin when you have been out in the winter, gets dry, you have to put some fat to make it smooth again. Same with the seat. And this is why I like to use a blend between oil and wax. It stays a little bit longer. What I will do as well is use a lot here. You remember, you have all the stitches here, and it can happen that they rust a little bit. So just to protect them from the water. And the thing is, you don't go and check every time how they look like. Let's see. So just put just to be sure that they don't rust more. It would be sad to have it to have a nice seat fall apart when you can when it takes 2 seconds just to make it don't miss any spots. Actually, it's if you have a leather jacket or a leather suit, riding suit, I'll actually use exactly the same process. Exactly the same process. Except the last bit, because the thing is, the leather jacket, you will take it home after every use, but the seat, it stays on the bike, so you need something else. Well, what we do, you see it's nice and shiny, but you will have to soak in and to dry, so you can help by massaging the oil and actually the balsam in the skin, like when you polish a car, just to make sure that it's everywhere. It's not that important that you do under. But over, it's quite important. The last bit that I recommend, so now you just let it sit a day. You put it away so that the balsam has time to soak into the leather. And what you can do is afterwards just put some it's some protection, like you put on the clothes, on the shoes, just to make it waterproof. So you can buy some at the shoe stores, or just to make it waterproof. But I recommend you to let it wait, let it sunk in. The waterproof protection, what will that do? That will protect the outside of the leather seat, and at the same time it will keep in all the moisture. Not the water, but actually the actual fat that is in the seat, it will be kept in, which means that the seat will last longer, because it will be always moist and not dry. So, and that's something you can repeat twice a year. Once you set the bike away, just give it a good clean. Use some either some people like to use beeswax or oil. It doesn't matter. I like to have both a balsam, which is a blend of both of them, and just before you start riding, just protect it, impregnate it, so that the fat you put in the seat doesn't come away, and we'll have a nice seat. So I'll just let it sink, and I'll show you the final result. Well, here we have the final result. That's how it should look like. You see, it's quite dry, but still has that nice shine. And again, try to let it dry at least 12 hours, 12 to 24 hours. I actually just let it overnight and just let it dry. The point as well is that the seat takes in all the fat you put on. You don't want to have a seat where you glide every time you take a curve. So just take the time. Now it's quite good and dry, and it's ready to roll. Thanks for watching.